Well, actually, it was well covered.
That was Nick Hallcatch, yeah.
Holding blue.
And they get a penalty on that, too. They had a holding call on it.
You're anticipating the defensive back to be sucked up on that, see an option look, and he's wanting to speed up to make a play, and you're hoping the receiver can sneak in behind him, but the corner stayed and held his ground.
Ball back on the 35-yard line.
Okay, here, this is the down. This is the down that has hurt Moeller in the past now in the games that we've seen. Second and long yardage.
And he's got trips to.
Now he has big receivers, and receivers are a lot bigger than the elder defensive backs. If you could throw it up in the air to him and let him go get the ball.
He's got trips to his right now. One receiver to the left. He's looking right.
Screen.
He's got screen and nope.
Stayed home.
It was to Hamilton, defended by Brett Curran.
Well, Brett Curran's playing a good game so far. He's the one that's coming off the edge for Elder, and he's the one that Moeller has not accounted for. He's the safety that's been causing a lot of havoc in the backfield for Moeller right now. They've got to get a helmet on him.
They'll have time for one more play this quarter. This is almost deja vu of last night.
It is.
We had a quick score, and then
it was 6-0 too, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. It was 6-0. Yeah. Got twins.
You would almost
now.
like him to throw the ball up here to the taller receivers going one-on-one. Here we go, right
and
there.
And he is. He's lobbing it up and way out of bounds.
He overshot him there.
And that's going to bring to the end of the first quarter here at Lockland as the Moeller Crusaders are down 6-0 to the Elder Panthers. And let's go down the field, Mark.
Well, the key, I think, when we're looking at going in the second quarters, is with Elder getting the ball back. Has Moeller figured out the offense? Have they made the adjustments necessary on defense to hold the offense in check? It didn't look like they had made that many adjustments on the second series. Again, what would have happened if it had not been for the quarterback slip and fall, which eventually stalled out the drive. So it remains to be seen as we go into the second quarter if Moeller has made the adjustments in their defense, if they can hold the Elder offense in check.
If I can remember right, wasn't it a St. X game a couple weeks ago? St. X got down the field quickly and scored, and Moeller did make some adjustments then.
Well, Moeller made the adjustments against St. X because the quarterback was able to get outside the pocket and was making big plays. But right now, it doesn't look like Elder's quarterback's trying to get out. He's run up inside 2 or 3 times. It doesn't seem to bother him to take it up in between the tackles and running the ball. That's a little bit different monster than what they were dealing with St. X. X looks like they were splitting the quarterback. He was breaking containment and getting to the outside and hurting him. Just the opposite here. But I'm quite sure with Elder's speed at quarterback, they can do the same thing.
Jason Kaiser is going to punt. He's in punt formation. Cody King's back at about his 8-yard line. See if he tries the coffin corner here from this distance. And I think we got too much time here. Delay a game.
You know, actually, if this is on Moeller, it's not a bad penalty. It moves him back a little bit and gives him a better angle to kick the ball.
Yeah, it gives him a better angle, and they might have done this on purpose. Let's hear the call.
Dead ball foul, failure to wield proper equipment.
Looks like it's a mouthpiece rule.
The kicker with oh my gosh.
Look, no. We're not saying the kicker here.
We're not.
Dave's not here to defend himself tonight. We're not going there. That, you know. That's a Dwayne thing. We'll leave that alone.
But you're right, Gary. It does give him a little bit better angle here. Let's see if he goes for the angle on the corner. He does. Ball down to out about 11-yard line. Not bad kick. So Kaiser gets a nice little kick there, and then puts the Elder is going to go to work down at their own 11-yard line here. As Panthers struck quickly with the Florian 13-yard run.
Did you notice how Elder's outside men were containing the gunners, the outside people for Moeller? They were angled off with their back to the play and chasing them down, and they were continuous blocking. Now, I've often wondered why a punter just doesn't throw the ball out, because that would be pass interference. Because you throw the ball up in the air to him going down there, it's an automatic call. I've often wondered that, and no one ever seems to be able to do that or want to do that.
Florian gives Glather. He's got running
outside.
room.
There's a flag down.
30. It's going to probably be coming back here with the hold.
There was a nice seal block to the outside there that kept the defensive end, and they locked him in. Let's see what happened here.
We got a Panther down on the field, too, around the 20-yard line, but it's going to come back. And there's the preliminary calls holding. Too big of a hole, maybe. We've got a player down, and they can't catch his number down there from here, from this angle.
We have holding on White. Distance.
Brian Crowley, the tight end.
We have an injury timeout.
They have an injury timeout. Brian Crowley down there was the Panther that was down on the field. And I don't know, Mark, if you're down there, I don't know if you saw anything that happened with Crowley.
It's really hard to tell. They're working down on this leg. It looked like during that holding, there was about 3 Panthers involved in that, and it looked like he may have gotten caught up in that, possibly underneath his own man.
Well, that's probably why Glathar's hole was so big.
Yeah, they didn't hold small on that one.
No. He's going off the field. He looks very gimpy going off the field there, but
it's always a good sign when they're able to go off.
Yes.
Walking, even with help.
So Elder goes to work. They get back a little bit further here.
Okay, you're looking at 15 yards Elder needs here. Elder's not afraid to throw the ball, so it wouldn't shock me to see them go back in the end zone and throw it. But this is a key for Moeller here. Moeller can hold them. They should get good field position, and then they can go back to the running game, chew up some clock, and keep jamming the ball away at Elder.
Florian, line of scrimmage is at the 4. He has to get out to the 22 for a first down. He gives it Glathar again. He gets out to about the 8-yard line, so they pick up about 4 off of that.
Power play, they just isolated off the guard there.
So they're still short.
Had a lead blocker in there that time.
Brings up 2nd and long now for the Panthers. We are in quarter number 2. Gary Bruns, Mark Scott, and I'm Bill Bretz. Glad you joined us here. ICRC Friday Night Football, as we said, the Saturday night version. And there's Glathar, the pitch. He's trying to find some running room, and
good stick.
He was.
Somebody came up and filled there hard.
They stiff-armed him down pretty good right there.
It looked like number 11 from Moeller.
That would be.
And he tagged number 11 from Elder.
Yeah.
That was 21. 21.
21, that would be David Starvagi.
That was a good stick.
Okay, a big defensive play for the Crusaders, a big offensive play right now for Elders. They're deep in the hole here. 3rd and about 8. He's got 2 receivers to his left. Florian's looking. He's got a man open. And we got a penalty flag in the middle of the field. The catch is good by Poland for a first down, but let's see what happens.
I think the flag is going to be, they're going to call a hold here on Moeller, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm telling you, it looked like there was a collision between the receiver and the defensive back. See, now they're going to call the hold. If we see this again, he just stuck. I don't think we can see it right there because we've got the play.
Yeah, it happened
underneath
in the middle of the field.
there, he just stuck the receiver just off the line of scrimmage. And it looked like a good collision from here, but they're closer than we are.
Well, obviously, Elder's going to decline this and take the
Blue
yardage.
holding. Say it.
What happens if they take it or don't take it?
We can hear all the conversation down there. Well, obviously, they would decline this.
There's no doubt we're going to know every call from that field tonight.
Holding. Blue. Decline.
All right.
First down.
Well, we kind of figured that anyway, but Mark Landers made it official right there. They'll take the Poland yardage right there. That's Billy Poland's 3rd reception tonight.
Well, that's going to bring his average per catch down a little bit because that was only like, what, 12, 13 yards
13 yards. Most receivers would take that any night, but
well, that brings his yardage down, though.
line of scrimmage is at the 32 now of Elder.
All right, they're away from the shadow of their own end zone here, so they can do almost anything they want right now.
Florian in shotgun. Fakes the pitch, okay, and keeps it himself. Fakes the handoff. He gets about 5 on that play. So Rob,
they're not afraid to use him, are they, Bill?
No, they're not.
Shows good athletic ability from the quarterback position. He's got good speed here.
He's 5'11", 165. He's not a particularly big quarterback.
But he's not afraid to run in the middle of the line between the tackles, where the hard yardage is.
Sets up about 2nd and 5.
But then again, Billy does have a lot of friends out there in the 250 and 260 range. So.
That always helps to have those guys in front of you. And he give us Glathar. He's got a first down and more.
Did you see him deliver the blow that time?
Oh, yeah. He just took out, looks like one of the DBs.
He took out number 21, who rung him up just on the previous play. Here we go. Watch. Nice cut there. It comes back in.
Now here it is.
Oh,
Boom.
lowers his shoulder and takes him on. Gets an extra 3 yards. Hops on for the ride.
Glathar, he's 6', 220. He's going to be a ton to take down if you're in a defensive backfield.
Bring your lunch pail if you're going to tackle him all day. It's a big back.
Elder out to their own 41.
You got a lead back in there with him this time.
Florida, a new set of downs. He's back to pass. He's
low.
And
he's got it.
He's got his man down there. We can't see it. It's on the far side of the field.
I think it's Poland again.
I think it is. It is Poland. Well, the average just went up a little bit.
The average just went back up.
Billy Poland catches the ball down there. And
here you can see it here. He heaves the ball about as far, I guess, as he can throw it. But the thing is, if you're underthrown in your man-to-man coverage, the receiver's got the advantage of coming back to the ball. He can see the ball, and that's exactly what happened there. And good concentration on it.
Poland caught that. Actually, he was falling backwards and caught it.
He's an impressive receiver.
Absolutely. Ball on the 19-yard line.
That was quarterback.
And Florian again.
He basically used the tailback as a lead blocker on that one.
Picks up about 3 or 4 on that play.
Have an injury down on the field.
We have a Crusader down on the field right now. Trying to see if we can pick up the number down there. Looks like number 11. And that's Brendan Berrigan. He's a 6 foot, 170-pound senior. Can't tell right now what the injury is. We're going to be talking halftime tonight. Gary and I are going to be talking a little bit about Harbins and what happened last night. Of course, Friday night, most of our games got through last night. And
some
our
interesting games again.
Yeah, our ICRC schools, 4 of them are still undefeated.
How about the Harrison-Anderson game?
Man.
Great game, huh?
Unbelievable game. It's interesting. Anderson wins this, but won that one by a field goal. And he's coming off the field, and I think he might have just got his bell rung a little bit out there.
Well, he's been coming up sticking his nose in on a few of those running plays. He's not afraid to do that. And then being a smaller defensive back, he's going to come up. He's going to take some hits at times, and you're not going to know where it's coming from around the pile. So at times you get dinged.
Yep.
Shotgun.
Ball on the 14, Florian. And to give us a Glathar, he's 10 and 8, down about the 5-yard line. He's a load to take down.
Yes, he is.
So he's down about the 5. So Moeller sets up now. Let's see where
they gave him a look like it was going right, and he cuts all the way back left because he's got a pulling lead. It looked like the guard pulled and led outside. So he was following the guard to the outside, and when he runs, he's giving you nothing but knees, it looks like, and shoulder pads to hit because he's almost on a squatty-like position when he hits them to the line.
Ball looks like spotted.
Again, shotgun.
About the 6-yard line.
This looks like a straight quarterback sweep.
And Florian,
nice play.
He's taken out of that play big time.
That's good speed.
He still picks up probably a couple yards on that, but
second and goal.
So Elder is, they say he doesn't pick up anything. So second and goal from the 6.
I don't think Elder anticipated the speed of the Moeller Crusaders on that play because that was a backside man who made the tackle.
Well, he does have his
power formation here. They're in the eye.
He's going to give it to Glathar. He looks like he's close, down to about the 1 maybe.
See that here.
See when they unstack him.
Straight dive, just follow the fullback into the hole. Here we go, follow the fullback, will take you right to the ball.
Ooh, nice job of Moeller to keep him out of the end zone. Let's see.
He's also following forward, so
let's see if Florian's going to take it himself. Nope. Going to get the Glathar. He's got it.
He's in.
We'll give him 1 yard on that one. And he just picked up his 11th touchdown of the year.
Well, that time he went in a little high, and they were able to get a couple shots in on him. See if we can see that again.
All right, let's see if they go for 2 on this one now. They're missing the, they should follow deja vu of last night. They should go for 2. That's what happened last night at the Reading game that we were at. Let's see, they're discussing this right now. And I would think you want to go for 2 right now to get that score at least back to 14.
We just seen the quarterback come back into the huddle, so he's got to play, and they're not going to kick it. So let's see what they want here. All right, you're allowed to move the ball to where you want. He's putting on the left hash. Wide side of the field to the right.
Florian.
He's looking for the fade.
He's got a receiver.
See, he didn't put enough air underneath that ball. That's a fade route, so you throw it up to the back cone, it looked like. So he needs to let the receiver run for it. He like to say he threw a 3-iron instead of a 9-iron there.
Well, the
he needs to put a little bit of air.
The intended receiver is Gidley. He overthrew him by a couple yards or so.
Well, that's what happens when you don't put enough air under it there, Bill.
Well, Mark, Elder 2 touchdowns, but no PATs. This kind of keeps the door open for Moeller.
Yes, and they definitely need something to keep the door open. It just appears that Elder is doing kind of whatever they want to do. And the impressive thing, of course, and I'm sure you guys can see it up there, is Glathar. This young man is averaging 5.7 a game. Per run, and it's just amazing. That, and I heard your comment about his knees and elbows and all this motion. He's just amazing. Several of those plays, I was right in front of me. He had 4 or 5 of the Moeller Crusader defenders on top of him, and he just kept on going. Of course, the holding penalty did not help Moeller at all, and of course, the long pass play was certainly a backbreaker. But it's Glathar is the outstanding offensive threat right now.
Okay, so Elder's going to tee it back up here.
Short kick this time, but it was angled away.
It's going to roll in the end zone.
It was angled away from, and there's another one of those touchbacks. That's just a nice kick.
Yep, Riga's kick goes in the end zone, and so Moeller's going to get started on 20-yard line here with 6:57 to go in the half, as the Crusaders going to try to answer Elder.
Well, the Crusaders' main weapon is Reed Hamilton. Let's see if they feed him the ball here. They need to get some offense. They need to start controlling the line of scrimmage.
Let's see if he goes for a pass. McGrath on the first down, though. He's got 4 receivers. He is back to pass. He's got a man open. That's Holcock. I don't know if they're going to say he trapped it or what. No, they said he trapped it.
We need to see that again because, you know, it could be a good call. But my point is this man came from 40 yards away to make that call.
Right.
And the referee or the sideline judge was right there.
Well, I kind of thought there would have been a question on this. Watch this now. We will see.
See, we can't see from there.
Yeah, see, the angle was away. I don't know, Mark, if you were right there on it.
The Elder players are saying no, he did not catch the ball.
It looked like it hit the ground.
Yeah, okay.
And even though the referee that called it was a lot further away, he did have a much better angle.
So, nevertheless, it's 2nd and 10 now. Let's see if he goes to the pass again. He does. McGrath. This time he goes the other side.
That's a good ball there.
He's got a man open. That's Becker.
Out of bounds, and that's a first down.
So now Moeller's going to put it in the air. And we said, you know, we were talking about this game, Gary, that one of the keys is Moeller's going to have to throw on Elder.
Well, I wanted to, before the game started, you're looking at both teams and you're thinking, if Moeller can throw for 125 yards, just enough to get enough balance with that running game, you're going to see a competitive ball game tonight. But they're held under, let's use the number 50. Let's say they can only throw for 50 yards or under. They're going to be in trouble.
Reed.
That's a nice cut.
Over the right side cut.
Look at him use the blockers. And he almost high-stepped right over the top of the pile.
So he picks up yardage of where the spot's going to be. Might be close. Nope, it's going to be about a yard short.
Look at him set up the blocking here as he cuts back. That's an excellent block. He cuts back here, follows the blocking. Now he's going to get hit. He takes what he can get, slams it in there, and gets the extra 2 yards.
2nd and 1 now, a 9-yard pickup for Hamilton on that one.
That one pass can open up everything because now that safety can't keep sneaking up. 5-2 this time. Safety still up close.
Give his to Hamilton.
Option.
No, option. No, man.
Elder's got the ball.
Elder's got the ball. Oh, my
He
crap,
waited a little
took
long.
a hit.
Well, he waited a little too long on the pitch. It was there if he got the good pitch to him.
If we can see this, just as he pitched it, he was slammed. I tell you, Dwayne would be here, he'd be screaming at this one.
He bellied a little deep there. Now he's going to look.
Oh.
See, he didn't pick him up out of the corner of his eye. Did you see how when he was running, he was looking at the defender, got up and closed in on him too quickly, and he pitched the ball, and it was a blind pitch.
Give Chris Chambers credit on that one for the hit, and Elder now picks the ball up, and they are back in business again with 5:50 to go with a short field too.
But that is a good play from Moeller because McGrath has shown he can run the ball.
Florian.
He's looking deep.
He's
Not there, and he goes underneath.
No,
he went through his reads. He's just a nice quarterback. He looked deep first. First level was deep, comes down to second level, and he finds a man out in the flat.
That's Lasik, one of his running backs, number 47, who he picked. But boy, I tell you, I'm impressed with the amount of time he has back there. He's having 4 or 5 seconds back there that he can throw.
Well, the thing is, Bill, I don't even think he'd have his uniform dirty, really, if he didn't run the ball so much.
Right. Florian, shotgun. Give us to Gaither.
It looks like that counter again.
And he'll pick up about 2 or 3 on that play. That's not a bad second down play, you know.
Well, you're sitting on 3rd and 5 here.
Right.
And with their offense, that means run or it means pass.
Right.
Was it 6 of one, half dozen of another? It doesn't matter. Your defense has got to play them honest the entire game. Everyone is a weapon on this Elder offense.
Line of scrimmage to 36. Florian, low snap.
Low snap.
But
Look
he
how
gets
he
the ball. Look at
sprints
that.
through there.
Scroots through there, and he
Nice
is down
tackle.
to about the 15-yard line.
You're thinking it's going to be a bad play because of the low snap, Bill, and he was able to make, what, 30 yards off that play?
Unbelievable. Watch the snap. Snap gets low.
It's low. Oh, below the knee.
You know, I think he had his number called the whole time, too.
It was well blocked. Nice tackle by Moeller.
Eric Thatcher was the one that brought him down for Moeller, but nevertheless, they spot the ball at the 16-yard line. Florian to Gaither. Gaither jumps over one of his linemen and picks up about a couple yards down to about 14.
He likes to spin after that initial contact, doesn't he, Bill? And he takes an extra shot or two because of it, but he's going to break a tackle here or there with that spin move also.
Comes up there. That's a good view of him right there.
Yes, he is a low. Look at him amongst the offensive linemen. He looks like he can fit in there.
Says, boys, I can relate to you guys.
But you know what? They love that because he goes around patting the offensive linemen. Thanks, fellas.
Yeah. We got a Moeller Crusader down on the ground. We can't see. Mark, I don't know if you can pick up a number down there.
That's Early, number 42, Early, that's down on the field.
So, Nick Early, linebacker, he's a senior. He's down in the field. They had another injury, almost the same spot.
You're right on the last drive.
So we have a timeout here in Laughlin. Moeller Crusaders are down 12-0 to the Elder Panthers. Moeller comes in, as we said, in this game tonight, 4-2, 1-1 in the GCL. Of course, they only play 3 league games, so you know every league game is important. But we mentioned this is an important game for the Crusaders. And
you want to come down for an injury report?
yes, we can go down. Mark will be checking down there. You know, Mark is a former paramedic here, so Mark could probably treat the guy down there too.
There's another Moeller injury that is certainly not good news for the Moeller team, and of course on a personal note too. Brendan Berrigan, their starting cornerback, has a shoulder dislocation, and obviously he will not be back tonight.
And right now, Early does not look like he is in good shape as he's coming off the field. So Moeller, a couple key injuries here now.
Doesn't look like he can put much weight on there.
No.
And that's a big blow for the Crusaders here. They have to step up right here.
Ball in the 13. Florian under center. He's back. The give is Florian keeps the ball himself. He's into the end zone. Rob Florian.
You know, he fakes the ball to Glathard. He lets the hole in the whole play develop, and he follows through after everything's been meshed out. He's just a very, very clever athlete here. Watch this. Now he picks his spot. Look at the hole.
Oh, unbelievable hole right there. And once he gets in that backfield, he's very quick back there.
And you would think someone would have a good shot at him here, but all they had was an arm tackle.
Well,
he has tremendous speed.
Let's see if they're going to go for 2 on this one now. They're up 18-0. Florian, a 13-yard TD. That's his second 13-yarder tonight. And his 5th touchdown of the season. They're going for 2.
In the eye.
He's back.
Looks like
he's got a receiver open.
Route again. No.
He had a receiver open, but he was getting a lot of pressure by the Moeller defense. So actually, he had Lasik back there. Lasik had his hands up. He was open, but the pressure by the Moeller defense. So if anything else, Moeller is winning the battle of the PATs tonight. So 18-0, 3:47 to go. Mark, do you have any information on Early down there yet?
Well, obviously it's a right knee injury. They're putting some ice on it right now, and they're going to be wrapping the ice on it. As I said earlier, just talking about the other injury to Berrigan, a shoulder separation or dislocation, and that is probably not an injury that he's going to be back in next week. Too early to tell, obviously, but he is on the sideline without a jersey, with a shoulder bandage wrapped in sling.
Well, that certainly doesn't look good for the rest of the night if you're out of that. And you want to be erring the side of safety there. Keep him out of the game. They might need him here pretty much as the season goes along, but nevertheless, Elder. Riga's going to tee it up.
Well, there again, Moeller's got one man deep, and what Riga's doing is he's kicking one side or the other. Now let's see if he kicks left this time. See, the returner moved right.
I think they're going to call offsides on Elder.
Probably, but you can still see where the returner with one man back there, he can't get to the ball if he's in the middle of the field. If the kick is positioned perfectly like the last one, and this time he shaded to the left side of the field. The Elder kicker just watched and see where he went, kicks it over to the
White.
And that is what's called on the Panthers, so they'll take it back 5 yards.
They may have to change their return formation and put 2 people back, so they can't do this anymore.
Well, they've still got Reed Hamilton back there.
We know he's a weapon from the St. X game because he was able to break a couple runs there on kickoff returns.
Pat Wyatt is back there also.
I can see why Elder's doing this, because you definitely don't want to kick to him.
No. Riga, line drive, picked up by Wyatt at the 21. And he gets some running room, though, 30-35.
That's
nice
good field position, 37-yard line. He had a trouble handling it at first, but he was able to pick up his blockers and get upfield and make good yardage.
Well, you were correct. They did kick it away from Hamilton, but Wyatt makes a nice little return. So Moeller goes to work at the 37-yard line with 3:40 to go here in the first half.
You can see that, Bill. They probably spent some time this week on special teams kicking away from him, knowing that he's a big weapon for them.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see if Moeller can put down a drive here.
Ben McGrath. There's one back behind him. Let's see if he's going to throw on first down again.
What do we got?
We might have an encroachment down here. Let's see what they call. They're looking at Elder. Yep. That's 5 yards. And then we talked about that
Dead ball foul. Encroachment. White.
And we talked about that last night at the Reading game. That wasn't being called last night. This one was called.
Well, I think he just lined up in the neutral zone there.
So Moeller gets 5 yards the easy way. So it sets up a 1st and 5 now for the Crusaders at about their own 42. McGrath, he's got
He's got trips
To
left.
right, yeah, trips left, one to the right. And the pitch is to Hamilton. Hamilton's trying to find outside room. He's got first down and more. He's in Elder territory.
He's still going.
Hamilton could go
He's
all
going.
the
He's
way.
going. See, that's their weapon.
58 yards.
What a play.
Oh my gosh, and that's exactly what Moeller needs.
If we get a chance to see this again, you'll watch the slot man for Moeller here lets the first man go, and he goes deeper into the secondary and picks up the safety. And I'm thinking he assumes that Reed can get around, Reed Hamilton can avoid the first man and beat him around the corner, which he did.
Reed Hamilton, 58 yards for the touchdown.
That was like a bolt of lightning.
And it looked like he was out of bounds over on the side here. We'll see if we get the replay. And the kick is up.
It's good.
And we actually have a good kick here tonight for the first time. That's Wayman. The junior puts point number 7 in for Moeller. So it is 18-7, and we're not going to have that replay back. But it almost looked like Gary was out of bounds around the 25-yard line. It almost looked like the play slowed down there. But
well, that's because both of the receivers were downfield engaged in their blocks. And anytime you have a long run like that, you're always going to find your wide receivers that are the ones that make the big play downfield. And when you stay on a defensive back on your block, all the receiver or the runner has to do is cut off of it. And believe me, they appreciate those receivers downfield making those blocks.
Mark, Reed Hamilton, hard to bring down there.
Well, that's just what the Crusaders needed, just what you said. This is quite a way to take into the halftime locker room. The key now, the defense. They've got to come back, stop Elder, and go in on an up note.
And, you know, they were in this situation with St. X last week, you know, where they had to come back, and a lot of times that defense did respond, but this is going to be interesting to see if they can respond to.
Well, checking the notes on Elder before the game today, I noticed that coming out after halftime adjustments, they've given up more points in the third quarter than they've given up in any other quarter. So teams are making either good adjustments on them, or they're just not ready to play when they come out of the locker room right away. So, and Moeller's strength last time, as you mentioned, Bill, against St. X, came out and got 2 touchdowns, got right back in it. So third quarter is one of their stronger quarters.
Kaiser. Poland's going to let it go out of bounds for a penalty, so it's going to go back 5 yards. So Kaiser's going to be kicking from the 35 now.
Well, I think Elder is just going to go ahead and take the
Dead ball foul.
Yes.
Blue. They're going to take it on the 35-yard line.
They're just going to take it. So that last night we seen that same play, and they made him re-kicks. But tonight, 35 is a great field position to start at. So.
Well, they are going to take it 35.
Well,
and
here's the thing, Bill. What we're looking at, 3 minutes and 28 seconds here. In high school football with 3 minutes, that's almost like the 2-minute drill, but you still got plenty of time to run the ball. That's a good stick there, but he still gained 5.
Right, Gaither.
But look how many linemen are downfield. They're 5, 6, 7 yards downfield, and they're staying on their blocks.
And Lasik is...
Here we go. You can see it again here. Look at the linemen. They're still firing out. They're still hitting people downfield. Still engaged.
Lasik was the fullback. He's been doing a good job tonight blocking for him, too.
Got an equipment problem out there. That's what the timeout is right now.
And we got whistles blowing all over creation, and I think maybe did they point Elder way that they called a timeout, or the officials
It's
are talking
it's
over?
Equipment
Put
timeout for Moeller.
3:03 black on the clock, please.
All right.
3 minutes, 3 seconds.
Young man's having a problem out there on Moeller with his helmet, it looks like.
So they're going to put time back on the clock here. And they did. 18-7, favor of the Elder Crusaders. They're coming in right about their average right now. As we said, they average around 36 a game. Another big crowd over here at Laughlin tonight. They had a big one, a sellout 2 weeks ago. It's not quite a sellout here tonight, but it's pretty darn close to it. They might have sold out at the walk-ins here tonight.
Well, I don't see any empty seats anywhere, so it's got to be a sellout.
They had tickets available tonight for this game, but the Moeller faithful definitely is coming out to Laughlin. There's Florian.
Back again.
And Florian did not quite make it to the 45.
No, third and 1.
Taddy get there for the first down.
You know what's nice about this for Moeller is the fact that the clock is still running. You don't want to let them have a score here before halftime. And with the short yardage here, you would certainly think that Elder's going to run the ball, try for the first down here.
And like
now, if they get it, the clock will start or stop on the first down.
Like Mark said, you hope Moeller gets a stop here so they can give their offense a short field. Florian. This is a Gaither. He leaps over the lineman, and he got that first down.
From years gone by, Sam Bam Cunningham from Southern Cal up over the top. Yeah. Watch the offensive linemen. They did their job here.
I was going to say, I weren't that young man's a hurler, but he didn't really have good hurdle style going over there. But it worked for the first down.
It was effective.
Yeah, it worked.
And it's
for
a load coming down on you too.
And he actually, look at it, he gained 2 yards on that one, 3 yards.
Well, that goes to show you how far the offensive linemen are dominating the line of scrimmage.
New set of downs for Rob Florian. Back in the shotgun, he's looking for first down.
He's got pressure on him this time.
And he's got a man. He's got
nice
Billy
catch.
Poland open again. Oh my gosh.
You know how good of a pass that was. He had 2 people in front of him. He was able to put the ball over the top of the defenders who were in position to make a play if the ball was lower and put it over to the top of the taller receiver. Here we go here. Now watch this. You have 2 defenders in the area, and the ball was up high enough where only he was going to make the play. He goes up and catches it with his hands.
Poland 6'3", 186.
Well, you see so many players, Bill, you've seen it, the alligator arm that they talk about. They won't go up and stretch out. Poland has shown he will stretch out and go get a ball for the quarterback.
Well, I was going to say, he's 6'3". He showed like he was about 6'8" there.
Quarterback
Florian.
draw again.
And he's got plenty of room. He's got a seam up there. He got about 8 yards on that one.
See what that's causing is causing them linebackers not to be able to get back in any kind of drop on the pass at all, Bill. They have to stay in. They have to respect his speed because he is killing them on that quarterback draw.
Yeah, it seems tonight, if we can see a pattern here, if Florian doesn't throw him first down, he takes the ball himself. So he's making stuff work all around. Florian, Gaither. He's not going to get anywhere that time. And that's about the only way they stop him is gang tackling.
Well, they did a good job there.
So the clock is stopped here at 1:11.
1:11.
Wait, timeout.
So Elder calls a timeout. Doug Ramsey wants to talk it over with the troops over there.
Ball on the 23. Got plenty of time to do whatever you want here. The only play they've really had any problems with, Bill, that we have seen so far out of Elder is the fade route where they've underthrown it a couple times.
Yep.
But they are getting man-to-man coverage on that, so that play is there.
Well, Moeller's defense is going to have to get tough down here. Now they're not going to give the offense a short field, but if anything else, they need
to keep them out of the end zone.
They have
must.
To keep them out of the end zone and keep another score from going up on the board there. And they're getting fairly close here for Riga's field goal, too. We have no win here tonight, and that's not going to be a factor in it, but probably another 10 yards. They can get another 10 yards, maybe another first down. They might go for the field goal. That'll offset those extra points and PATs.
Well, they're lining up with the I formation with the lead back here again, and they've run out of this every time. So,
and they run at it again. There's Gaither. Gaither's, depending where the spot is.
First down, if I'm not mistaken.
He's down to about the 15.
First down.
So the clock will stop just long enough to get the down markers moved, and then it'll start running again. And I like to think right now that Elder's going to get a score out of here somehow. They're going to try at this stage of the game.
I'd find Poland right now. Find him.
And he's on the right side.
Quarterback draw again.
Florian.
That time they converged in. They closed the pocket. He gained about, what, 4 yards maybe?
Right. But like we said, if he doesn't throw in that first down, it seems to go to him. And I don't know, Moeller's going to start picking up a pattern here.
Clock's still running. It's now under 40 seconds.
And I think they're well within Riga's range at this stage.
Well, right now, Moeller would be happy if they only got out of here giving up 3.
Right.
They're looking for the crossing route. It wasn't there.
He's signaling his receivers there. He's got a man open end zone.
He almost caught that. He laid out for that ball. That was nice.
And I believe it might have been Brian Crowley who was hurt earlier.
Excellent effort. Here we go here. He was looking for the crossing route. Watch him look. It's not there.
Watch him directing the receiver here.
Exactly. He's not going to make a mistake. He can run with it if he wants, but he's got a receiver. That's what happens when you roll that way to receiver. It's on the outside. You break away from the quarterback. You do not come back to the quarterback. Break away. Crossing routes will come back to you. The receiver on the far side where you're running to will break deep.
Florian's got one more shot here. He's looking deep in the
It's
end zone again. He's almost intercepted. That was almost taken away by Eric Thatcher.
You know what? I have to see that again because he hasn't dropped the ball yet that I know of, Paul, and that looked like it was off his hands unless it was tipped.
Yeah, I think it was tipped by Thatcher, but we got a flag down here. So, and where it is, it looks like a holding on Elder.
You'll definitely take the yardage here. You have to move him back. No.
We have holding on White.
Move him back.
Yes.
We'll move him back now.
And the only reason they do that, Bill, is because it takes them out of that field goal range. Because an incomplete pass here, it's an awful deep kick for the field goal attempt.
He's got one more shot at it, so let's see if he tries to get him a little closer. Or would you try the draw now to keep him in the middle of the field to give Riga a good?
You got your quarterback draw. It's been averaging what, anywhere from 7 to 10 yards every time he seems to run it. So that would set you right back up in field goal range.
Florian, back to pass.
He's going deep.
He's going deep. And
he laid out again, and almost an excellent catch there.
Almost a catch by, that's Kurt Gidling.
I'm telling you what, these Elder receivers, they go for the football. They make a quarterback look good.
Well,
he doesn't need any help. He got hit right after that play, too, so that might have thrown the ball off a little bit. Look at that laying out for the ball.
Riga now.
You got professional receivers that don't lay out for balls that much.
That's true, especially in this town. No jab intended. Oh, yeah, it was. So 41 yards for Riga. Gidling will spot it down for him. The kick is up. It's long enough. And it's good. 41 yards. Mike Riga. And those PATs now are back on the board as it's 21-7 in favor of. Oh, that's a nice way to get your PATs.
Exactly.
41-yard field goal with 8 seconds to go.
You know, after he missed the first one, he's probably wondering, Coach, you're ever going to put me back in there and let me kick another extra point? Because all we're doing is going for 2 here, so I have to go out there and get that field goal to get back.
So with 8 seconds to go here in quarter number 2.
You could see that was more of a line drive, though. Did you see that, Bill, because of the distance?
It was actually right through.
It was right down the middle, it looked like.
Now let's see if they will squib kick this here to away from Hamilton. It runs that clock out and hopefully run it out, and they go in the locker room with a 2-score lead.
Well, my guess is he's going to find one of these guys in the up line here. He's going to pick out a number and aim right for him because you don't want any kind of return here.
Riga, and he does. He keeps it on the ground, and it's picked up by Wyatt. Wyatt's not a bad run back, but more importantly,
that should just about run out the quarter.
It's 2 seconds left on the clock. We don't have those tenths of seconds here, so it might even be, who knows how close it is, but Moeller will have time for one play. And I don't know, Gary, right now you just take the knee and go in the locker room and regroup.
Well, you've got your chance to throw it downfield, but something bad could happen there too. So I agree with you. You just take the knee and get out right now. Regroup. You're only down 21-7.
But it doesn't look like he's gonna. Right now, Ben McGrath, nope, pitches to Hamilton. Hamilton's finding some room. Gets to the outside, but time runs out.
Run, but that's a quarter.
That's a quarter. And we'll go back down to Mark for some final comments here in the first quarter.
Well, you'd have to think that the field goal was a moral victory for Moeller. Keeps them within 2 scores. A touchdown could have really been demoralizing this close to the end of the half. So you got to think they're up about that. Injury report, Brendan Berrigan separated shoulder. I just talked to Nick Early 2 weeks ago against St. Ignatius. His knee cap came out of place. It popped back in on its own. This time it popped out and stayed out until the team trainer put it back in place, he will not be back.
Oh, boy.
So those are two key defensive people out for Moeller.
And that could be a real big key here, Gary, in the second half is losing those two guys off of defense. And, you know, you'd say Mark said it was a moral victory for Moeller, but I guess if you look on the Elder side, you know, they've got those PATs back and they've got a two touchdown lead right now.
Well, the other thing, well, we were talking about the defensive players being out of there. This second half is going to come down to the defense. It's going to be won and lost by Moeller's defense. Their defense is going to have to step up. They're going to have to make plays. Does it mean getting turnovers? Well, if it happens, it happens. But you're going to have to get a stop right off the bat. You need a stop, and you need to move the ball offensively to show them in the second half that you've come to play.
Well, as Dwayne would say, go out, get that pizza, get your favorite drink. We are going to be back with a little Harbin talk here in just a moment. So stay tuned for the Harbin talk and second half action here at Laughlin High School.
My dad is a hero. He goes into places normal people want to get away from. He rescues families, makes everyone safe. But the best thing he can do is come home.
The U.S. Fire Administration reminds you to protect the heroes who protect our lives. Have a smoke alarm on every floor. Test it monthly. Replace the battery yearly. Do your part to get out before they have to come in.
Beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good, oh, with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Find out what you can do. Contact Volunteers of America today.
Women of integrity have been able to make a difference in the world. We invite you to let your voice be heard in your nation's Air Force.
May these graces abide with me, my loved ones, and all those who share my country's trust.
And Bill Brett's back here at Gary Bruns at Laughlin Stadium here, where the Moeller Crusaders are down 21-7 to the Elder Panthers. And we're going to talk a little bit about our ICRC schools that are still in the hunt here for playoff spots. And we'll start with Harrison. And we just mentioned earlier in the game here tonight, it was a heck of a game last night over Anderson. But the Redskins did prevail 37-34 in that game. Now, we talked about Steve Shuck last night. If you watched our Reading game, we talked about his projections on it, and he projects Harrison not making it. And I kind of disagree with that, because I'm looking down the way here. If Harrison can win out the rest of their games, they play Mason, Winton Woods, and Sycamore. And we'll be bringing you that Sycamore game at the 10th game of the season. I think they get enough points.
Well, here's something that's going to help them. Last evening, according to Steve and whoever made this projected cut here, they had Winton Woods making it at number 7. Winton Woods was upset last night by Glen Estee.
Right.
They weren't counting on that one, so that's definitely going to hurt them. So that would, if you ask me, that would shoot Harrison back into the mix in that Division I.
Yeah, and like I said, I think they're playing teams that, you know, Mason's got 3-4 wins right now. Sycamore's got some wins. You know, I think they're going to get points off of that. I see them getting in. I mean, they might not be with the home field advantage where they were sitting this week, but I think the Harrison Wildcats are in it. If we go to Division II, what can we say about Kings and Loveland? They keep rolling, both of them 7-0. I mean, probably for each one of them, they looked at Ross as their rival in the league, and both of them now have taken Ross. Kings last night took Ross easily. Loveland wins over Norwood last night, and Norwood has 4 wins now, so you know, they come in with lots of points right now. I know Kings and Loveland are both projected to be in there, and I think if it is going to come down to that game, I don't think it's going to come down to the game of somebody losing in the playoffs. I think that game's going to be for home field advantage.
For home field advantage, that's what I was going to say. That's an important game because you don't want to go to the other guy's place, especially after you've already played them once this year.
Right.
So you have to win, okay, and then you want to come back because that's sending a message also. We beat you, we can beat you again. So that's important at this time. And I think on Division I, we bypassed Moeller there. We have to look at the fact that Moeller still has Princeton on the schedule, and I'm not quite sure who the other 2 schools are. But you know the teams that they play, there's points out there to be had because they play a tough schedule. Even if they were to lose here tonight, and I know we said they need to win this because of the important points, but you have to look at it this way. Elder's probably in, no matter this game, because the last few games that they've got coming up, they're probably going to win those games. Now, Moeller's got a tougher road to hoe, but they also have bigger points. There's more reward for knocking off a Princeton. And I'm not sure, like I said,
they play. I tell you who their team they play is Columbus DeSales, and that's the team that knocked St. X.
And that's the team that beat St. X.
Right.
And there again, maybe they've learned something, you know, from that game. To say maybe they could call St. X, say, how did you, what did you do here, what did you do there? But there's a lot of points to be had there because that's another good football team that beat St. X.
All right, CHCA out in Division 5. They beat up on Hartley. No surprise, but we have said before, and I really agree with Steve Shuck on this one, is that they are going to get in probably by the skin of their teeth. They're going to go 10-0, but they don't have much.
Exactly. They're just going to make it, Bill. And I'm telling you, that is a fine football team. We've seen them last year. They have really got some nice personnel over there. The quarterback, Huxtable, I think they've got a running back by the name of Wilson. They have a very, very explosive offensive team. They can put points on the board, and defense isn't bad either. And I'll tell you what, nobody's going to want to play them in the first round because they can really lay a pounding on you.
Well, you know what? They ought to talk to Ken Miner about it. He's familiar with all those Division 5 teams. A lot of them have been there for the last couple of years, and Reading's been in there. And speaking of the Blue Devils, of course, we saw them last night come to their 7th win of the season. Marymount gets upset last night. The game that we're going to be doing next week doesn't have as great a significance as it would be if Marymount wins. But, you know, Wyoming gets upset last night. You know, right now the CHL schools are knocking each other off right and left. But Reading gets in. You know, I think without a problem, they do get into the playoffs, and they could run the table. It could come down to that Country Day game, last game of the season.
There's a lot of points to be had there, and to talk on the other side is Country Day needs that game because right now they're sitting at number 9.
Right.
If they were to beat Reading, think of the points that they would be able to accumulate from that game, and that is very, very big game for them. It's probably a bigger game for them than it is Reading.
Absolutely, and because they're Division 6 now. So,
think of the points that Division 6 team gets for beating that Division 4 team.
It's not going to be as big for Reading, but it would still be big because they have a boatload of wins there for Country Day this year.
Here's the big thing coming up this week with the Marymount-Reading game. Is that game a big game for Marymount now?
Oh,
it's
yes.
a must game. I mean, for league, it's everything for computer points because if you knock off Reading, just think of the points that you have racked up by beating a school that good, and they have to beat them if they want to have a shot because it's getting down now to the end of the season. You don't have any you can't make a mistake here. You have no tomorrow, so you only got maybe 1 or 2 schools left that you really get any points out of.
Right.
And now it's starting to come down to is also those second level points, which everybody talks about, but it's who you've beaten, who you beat, and then who they've beaten, and then you pick up points off of them, and that's very, very, very important.
Well, if Marymount's going to beat the Blue Devils, they're going to have to come up with some kind of plan because as we saw in the game last night, they are hard to stop out there. They are almost unstoppable. Well, we're going to see if Elder's going to be unstoppable or Moeller has an answer for them coming up here on second half action from Laughlin, the Crusaders and the Panthers. We'll be right back.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain, a America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good, oh, with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Find out what you can do. Contact Volunteers of America today.
They are the sons and daughters of America. They are the faces that meet the call of duty. They are a part of you and me. And every day, in every part of the world, they serve to keep a peace that others seek to destroy. They're our heroes, helping to preserve the freedoms we all hold dear. They are members of our United States Air Force. From the flight line to the front line, they keep our country strong and our future secure so we can live as we wish. The United States Air Force. No one comes close.
Bill Brett's back here at Moeller High School, or Laughlin High School. Here we go. Am I up here? I think I'm on the air. I think I'm on the air here. Bill Bretz, Gary Bruns, Mark Scott back here at Laughlin High School. We almost said Moeller High School. That's just a few miles away, but Moeller plays their home games here at Laughlin Stadium, and Crusaders are just coming back on the field from halftime. And first off, let's go down to Mark, because Mark was over and talking to some of the elder people about possible injuries over there.
Bill, I did go over and talk to the elder staff at halftime. They are faring a lot better than Moeller injury-wise. I was told that the only injury was tight end Brian Crowley. It's a minor injury, shook up momentarily. He's back in, good to go. Seems like the only problems they're having over there right now is some equipment injuries. They were feverishly working over there to repair some helmets, and that looks like their major problem right now.
All right, well, you know, let's talk once again. We look at the standings here of the GCL South. You know, Elder comes in, they win this game tonight. They will probably end up going outright and winning it right now. The standing a little bit off right now because we had some games last night. LaSalle did lose to St. X, and Moeller is actually 1-1, and Elder is 2-0. So we'll update the update on the graphics right there. But if, you know, Elder wins this game, you know, Doug Ramsey told us at the beginning of the game here tonight that, you know, that's one of their keys right now that keep them up for this game is to win this GCL South outright, because they haven't done it in a while. And so it would be big. As far as Moeller goes, they get the ball first, Gary, in this second half. I think a real key to this game is what they can do in this first possession.
Exactly. They need to take it down and score it. Any kind of points, field goal, anything. They need to put something on the board, and they need to drive the ball. They need a little clock. At least make Elder think about it, because if Elder gets in his comfort zone where they can just run and throw all night, it's going to be a long night for Moeller in the second half. But there is a silver lining here.
Right.
Because Elder has a history of turning the ball over. If you look at it, Elder's a +2 on the season. Elder comes into this game having thrown 5 interceptions and fumbling 6 times. And when they lost to Louisville Trinity, that's how they lost. They shot themselves in the foot by fumbling and turning the ball over. So there is the possibility out there that they can turn the ball over. Moeller's defense is going to have to step up, and they're going to have to make the plays and cause some of these turnovers. But if you're looking at that, that's one of the things you can hang your hat on and say, listen, guys, the fact of the matter is these guys are not perfect. They can turn the ball over, and we can get back in the game because of that.
Well, as you point out before, Moeller has scored 36 points to their opponent's 14 in the third quarter. And, of course, we saw them come back with a couple of touchdowns to tie that game a couple weeks ago against St. X. So for them to win this game tonight, they're going to have to do this. And a little footnote about Doug Ramsey and people watching this game right now. Doug's going to feel comfortable being over here at Laughlin because he played quarterback at Reading High School.
I was going to say, he's a Reading boy, isn't he?
Right, he's a Reading boy. And, you know, I was checking today of the school. He still holds 4 quarterback records there, and he played back there in the 80s, 81, 2, 3, in that period in there. So, you know what? He's used to playing it's coming back home for him. I mean, when they used to play Laughlin back during that time, I'm sure he's played football in this field.
You know, the funny thing is, Bill, he's probably checking out those Reading games pretty close because
yeah.
the way they're throwing the ball around, some of those records could go out the window this year.
Well, he was saying before a game, I was talking to him about it, he says, I'm not sure if those records are going to hold very much
You know
longer.
what he's got to be happy about is the combination quarterback system they got. If they just had one quarterback in place, all his records would have been gone by now.
That's right. Well, the thing about it is that Tony Pike's only a junior, too. He's going to have one more year out there, so it's going to be interesting to see. But Doug still lives in Reading, and he's still over there. He might have been over at our game last night. Who knows? It being a homecoming night, sort of technically homecoming night there at Reading. They will celebrate it this week. And that, by the way, that is where we will be. A few days from now, we will be back over at Reading in a CHL action with Marymount. And but first, we've got a second half of this game to play here.
Well, they've put 2 men back deep now, if you've noticed, so they can't do that angle kick.
And Moeller gets a good stick there. We didn't catch the number of the player who received it because they are pulling 2 on them back, but Moeller does have fairly good field position to start this second half of action. They are down by 2 scores. Real quickly, Florian, 2 13-yard touchdown runs. Gaithar has 1 touchdown run of 1 yard. Reed Hamilton, 58-yard run for Moeller's only score. And of course, Riga put on a 41-yard field goal. And that's where we stand right now, as Ben McGrath goes to work under center, and McGrath calls his own number. You know what? I think the center actually jumped a bit too soon, and I think he gave the play away possibly there.
Couldn't tell on that. They ran a quarterback sneak a couple times before. I'm just wondering if it wasn't one of those tap and go jobs where he's seen a gap there, and then what happens is the defense slants just before the snap of the ball, and he runs right into it.
He picks up a yard, sets up 2nd and 9. He's got receivers to the right and left of him. Got 2 slots. McGrath back to pass. He's got a man open on the cut.
There's the young man we talked about at halftime. Carter, if I'm not mistaken, was the one that made the catch, number 83, Blake Carter. He's a big wide receiver with good size and speed. If they can get him the ball, it looks like a mismatch on the outside corner out there because the corner it's guarding him is about 5'8", 5'9" for Elder.
And this,
let's go down to Mark.
I have an update on the injury. It's just going to tell you how much Moeller wants to win this game. I saw the team trainer suiting Brandon Berrigan up in some sort of a harness. I went over and talked to them. They are going to try to send him back in. So he is fitted up, and he has, I was told, a shoulder separation, but he's going to be back in on defense.
The pitch goes to number 8. And that is Eric Thatcher.
There's a flag on the field there, and it happened late, just as he was going out of bounds. We'll have to check and see what that was.
Could have been a face mask, maybe. Let's see what they call. No, they're going to call
legal use of hands. Didn't see that, but it happened late in the play. Here we go with the replay here.
Block in the back, blue.
They said blocking and back, so they lose.
Let's see if we can see it here.
It's probably from the spot of the foul.
They're calling right there that there wasn't much there. You can see it right here, the wide receiver.
Right.
There's not much there. It's just that's why he used the hands.
And they're going to call it probably from the line of scrimmage there, so it sets them back to a 1st and 20 now. They have to come all the way out to about the 48-yard line.
See, now they've got Blake Carter so wide now. You'd take a cannon to get him the ball as far out as he is.
It's going to be a motion call on Moeller. So he's going to back him up another 5. Oh, no, wait a minute. They're going to call it on him. There must have been encroachment.
Dead ball foul, encroachment, white.
Encroachment. I thought they were going to call a motion on Elder or on Moeller, but they pick up a break. They get 5 back from that penalty.
Well, let's see what kind of formation Moeller lines up in here.
Trips to
First
the
down and about
left.
18.
He's got 4 receivers. Let's see if he's going to be throwing on this. McGrath.
You think?
McGrath. He's looking.
He's
got a
open.
man open. Oh,
Nice catch.
And he's still on his feet.
That's Thatcher. He could be gone.
Thatcher is down to the 10, the 5,
The
and
6-yard
dragged out
line.
of bounds.
That was a tremendous catch. He almost lost the ball, but was able to hold on to it.
John Teamer was the one who saved the touchdown, but Moeller strikes big.
You know what? They gave Elder a little bit of their own medicine. It was a crossing route, and it was a deep crossing route.
Look at
Did
that.
you see? He
Juggled
dropped the
it,
ball, juggled
and
it.
he was tackled back there.
And now watch this move here. Lucky to get away with one there. Almost had a clipping behind.
And you know what? Thatcher now has only 2. That's only his 3rd reception of the year, and it was a big one.
If I'm not mistaken, he's the young man that's verbally committed to Pittsburgh. That's Reed
Hamilton down to about the 2, and this is Reed Hamilton territory down here right now.
Does this sort of look like the same next game all over again?
I don't know. Let's see if Jerry Faust is up here. The coach is here. Not sure if he's here tonight or not.
You got to believe this is pitch the ball to the tailback time here or a straight dive. But I'll tell you what, that quarterback McGrath runs so hard. He's another option for Moeller here.
2nd and goal now. Ball spotted on the 2-yard line of Elder.
Got a lead blocker in there this time.
He keeps it though. Oh, he's
wide open.
Wide open. Wide open pass to number 18, Neil Wonder.
That fooled me. That was a nice call. Nice fake. If you watch the quarterback here, he sold it. Watch him. Hides the ball. Now he comes up and throws.
But McGrath paid for this.
Yes,
Watch
he
this.
did.
And
But there was nothing but Moeller players out there.
So Neil Wonder gets his first TD of the season.
Nice play.
And let's see if Poto is going to be putting the extra point on. No, it's not Poto, it's Wheelman.
He is a strong leg. He put that ball over, it looked like over the scoreboard.
That's out on Wyoming Avenue.
Yeah, you're
out
right.
there.
Somebody's got a souvenir.
Well, Mark, the Crusaders strike quick, and they had to do this to keep in this game.
Well, that they couldn't have done anything more exciting and better for the morale than that. I mean, that's what they needed more than anything, to come out and just take it right down the field. I mean, they, like we mentioned at the end of the half, you had to think that was a victory for them, that they held Elder to just the 3 points, keeping it within a 2-touchdown margin. It's a new ball game. Now it's up to the defense. They haven't been able to stop Elder very effectively at all tonight. Let's see what happens.
Well, 2 things, Bill. We talked earlier, if Moeller was able to get, let's say 125, we use that number, between 125 and 150 yards passing. They got to be close to 100, maybe just a little bit over. That's going to keep them in the ball game. And 2, the second thing is Elder's history of turnovers. Now the defense is going to be on the field. Can they get a turnover? If they can get a turnover and give it right back to the offense, you've really got a ball game then.
So with 9:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter, Moeller down by 1 score. Kaiser tees it up.
Nice high kick.
Coming to Billy Poland at the 10. Poland's got a wedge in front of him. It disappears quickly, though. He gets out to about the 24-yard line. A nice little wedge going there, but Moeller just tore that wedge apart.
That was good kick coverage. Everybody stayed in their lanes. And Elder's going to start, looks like about the 23.
Back it up a little bit, 22, 23-yard line. So
and remember that little stat we had earlier about the 3rd quarter is not Elder's strong quarter.
No, but it is a Moeller strong quarter. The pitch is to Gaithar. He's looking for some running room. He's going to get about a yard or 2.
That was still a nice run there, Bill. Did you see him accelerate? It looked like everything was closed down, and he accelerates up behind the block and was able to pick up 2 or 3. Looked like it was going to be a negative play, and they were able to get a +3 out of it.
Brings the ball out to about the 27-yard line. So the Panthers right now sent in an extra receiver in Craig Davis. So let's see if Florian is going to He's in the shotgun formation. He throws quite a bit from this.
Well, they basically have 3 receivers left, but Poland's to the right, so you definitely have to respect him.
He gives a Gaithar the other way. Gaithar gets about 6 or 7.
And he gets that little extra yard or 2 off that spin at the end of the tackle, which he's patting that play.
So it sets up 3rd and short now for the Panthers at about the 32.
Here we go here. Now watch him. When he gets hit, he accepts the contact, and his spin gets him an extra 2 or 3 every time. It seems to me that you got to hit him around the legs, wrap him up. Don't let him spin, because he's always able to stretch another yard or 2 off of every hit.
And this might be critical at this stage. Good. Oh, he runs into one of his own men. He still gets the first down. He's lucky on that one. Looks like he ran into Lasik properly as fullback, but
it looked like the right tackle moved early, but the run, Gaithar, was so strong. You have to just give it to the young man, a tip of the hat, because he got hit there. That was great penetration by number 17 on Moeller.
He did run into. He did run into Lasik.
Super play.
Did run into Lasik, but he still made the first down out to the 35-yard line. Panthers trying to get set here. Florian back to pass.
He's got
his favorite receiver, Poland. Poland out to the 48.
He squares his body so well to the pass, and watch his hands. Everything he catches is with the hands. He never lets the ball get into the body.
That's Poland's 4th or 5th reception. Not quite sure tonight, but he's got quite a few receptions.
That's a long throw, too. Just a nice ball. That's pitch and catch for Elder.
I'm not mistaken. I think every time Poland's caught a ball, it's been for a first down here tonight. So he's done an outstanding job. Florian, low snap.
Blitz.
Takes the ball. And
nice call.
Nice penetration by the Moeller defense.
They've seen that play a couple times in the first half.
He might have lost a yard on that.
I think that is the first time that they have lost yardage on that play.
Second time. As we said before, Florian's either going to throw it or call his own number on that first down play, but now this time Moeller has adjusted to that, it looks like, at least at this stage of the game.
Well, it's all about adjustments at halftime.
Florian.
Cody's coming again, 17.
He's
Pressure's
back
there.
To pass. He's got Poland. He's got Poland
on.
Billy Poland.
52
yards.
Excellent. The quarterback took the hit, hung in there, and put the ball out there. He never broke stride. That was an unbelievable throw.
So Billy Poland.
You couldn't draw it up on the board any better than that.
58-yard pass from Florian. Look at it. He had one defender to beat Hollenbeck, and he beat him easily. And waltzes into the end zone, 58-yard pass. That's Poland's 7th TD of the year. Riga.
I'm not sure.
No, he didn't.
It's off to the right.
That was one of the highest extra point kicks I think I've ever seen. But it's
now he's 0 for 2 on extra points and drills a 41-yard field goal.
Go figure. Well, there he is. He has to go back to.
Yes, he's too close.
30-yard line. Mark, Billy Poland is putting on a show out there tonight.
He's putting on a clinic.
Well, and Moeller's got to adjust to that. I don't know what they're going to have to do to adjust that, but he's coming free from the line, and he's too big and too fast. I mean, you could see he just ran past the defender, and there was no catching him. So let's see what Moeller does to adjust next time. But right now, they've got to come back, and I mean, there's daylight. They're 2 touchdowns away from taking the lead.
And and Hollenbeck, who was defending him, he's 6'3", and he still can't get.
Well, the thing is, Bill, you don't have any help, safety help. If you noticed on that defensive sequence there for Moeller, they were blitzing, and they brought Godey up, number 17, and he was in the backfield 2 or 3 times. But there again, he's helping the defensive backfield. He's coming up to help stuff the run and make some kind of big play into the backfield. You can't be in both places. You've got to give a little bit. And what's happening is Poland's got single coverage, and he's no match for a corner one-on-one.
Picked up by Daniel Shepard, number 36.
Nice move.
And he makes a nice move. He almost
broke containment initially, but they were able to gain ground.
He almost fumbled the kickoff, but he made good return on that.
We seen that last night, didn't we? A couple times where you bobble the ball and it just seems to open things up for you because people seem to get out of their lanes once they see the ball hit the ground. Good move.
So Moeller gets good field position back again, but unfortunately The Elder Panthers had answered on that last touchdown from Moeller.
Well, we're right back to the jump street here, because what happened now is coming out of the locker room, the same situation all over again. You got to take the ball back down and score, and your defense has got to hold.
And Reed Hamilton gets the
ball. That looked like some face masks there.
And I think the Moeller people saw it too. But
I think, well, we've seen it from here, so why couldn't they have seen it down there? Hopefully we've got the replay here. Let's see.
Stripes didn't see it. Let's see what happens.
Let's see. It's a good run here. He's following the lineman. He's letting the lineman do his job. Now he's going to see whatever he can get upfield as far as he can go. Yes, he did.
Yeah, well.
He hit.
Yep.
He hit it initially.
No call, though. 2nd and 5 now. And
that's one of the few times they've given a straight dive tonight.
Okay, we understand he was actually under it. It looked he grabbed more of his collar, but nevertheless, it was a no call, and it sets up a 3rd and short now for the Moeller Crusaders.
Well, this is big here.
The ball is out.
Now, in a couple of these short yardage situations, they've run option. But you'd almost think with a 4-man line there and only one linebacker, well, what is this?
Well, it could be an encroachment again where it was thrown. They're talking to Moeller right now.
No flag. They're waving it off. I thought it was going to be an equipment violation again, the mouthpiece situation.
I think some of the Moeller people wanted that encroachment. I would have given them first down, but nevertheless.
I'm almost looking for a dive here.
Graf.
They faked the dive, and they had the wingman on the around play.
Yep, and that was Rob Allen, senior tailback.
Nice play.
We haven't
Picks
called
up about
Allen's
13 yards.
Right, we haven't called Allen's number that much tonight.
Well, what happened was when they make the fake into Reed Hamilton here, Elder bit. Did you see everybody bite on the play? And once they bit, it was able to get Allen to the outside free. And he made the first guy miss, and the second guy cleaned him up. Allen, that's a big play.
Allen came into the game tonight at 224 yards, the second leading rusher for the Crusaders.
Yeah, he ran the ball a little bit more when we had him against St. X a couple weeks.
Like I said, I don't remember him calling his number here tonight. McGrath back to pass.
Now
He's
he should
pressure.
run this. Good job to get upfield and get what you can get out of the play.
Nice job on the defense. That's Brent Curran in on the tackle for Elder, but a good rush by the Elder defense. So it's going to set up a 2nd and long. Elder's been keeping Moeller in this position where they've had a lot of 2nd and longs tonight.
Well, a name we haven't mentioned much tonight for Elder was Tony Carviti. He has 10 sacks on the year. That's a season for most people, and it's only halfway through the year he has 10 sacks.
Give is to Hamilton. Hamilton's not going to get much there. So it sets up a 3rd and long.
I see they have Thatcher back on the field again to give him another option on the offensive end. So he's going to be going both ways, I guess, the rest of the evening.
Thatcher on the field. He'll be the one of the receivers. Holtkamp is out there along with number 80, Craig Becker.
He's in the slot. Single coverage down here to the short side of the field for Becker.
Blake
That's
Carter.
who he's looking at.
He's got Becker. Becker had to come back for the ball.
See, that's not a bad play there. What he's hoping is Becker catches the ball and he can juke the first man because he's got no help. So he has to beat the man one-on-one.
Well, watch Becker come back. He came back about 2 yards, and then he was stuck right there.
You got to give it to the Elder defensive back because he closed so fast they didn't give him a chance to make any move on him. And I think we're in one of those situations where we're going to go for it again.
Yep, they're going to go for it. They did this earlier. They are successful on 1 4th down conversion here tonight. The Crusader crowd is on their feet.
Well, you got the solo coverage again at the top. Becker's one-on-one out there. Let's see where he goes with the ball.
McGrath, he's back to pass.
He's got a man
open.
That is a beautiful throw.
He's got his man, Greg Becker, open.
Down to the 20-yard line.
His favorite receiver this year, Becker.
You know, Bill, if that young man threw every ball like that, they would have an outstanding offense. He stepped up in the pocket, believed in his offensive lineman, and stuck that ball right in there. That is a deep crossing route. Receiver made a nice grab.
Moeller 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions tonight. Ball on the 21-yard line.
Let's see if the safety shades a little bit to Becker's side now because they're using Becker.
He's got that teacup formation on his left.
Roll out.
And
that's got to be
going to say
nope.
He trapped it anyway, I think, even if they did catch
That's
it.
close to interference going over the back, but the ball was down low, and I don't think it was catchable.
Well, he was rushed pretty much on that play, so.
He was also rushed going to the left where he has to square his shoulders more to be able to get the throw because of being a right-handed quarterback. But he did a good job of turning his shoulders to make the throw.
So the ball spotted just short of the 20. I think they might have got a little help on the spot right there. A little closer now.
Yeah, it looks like the yard marker is right there at the 21. They're snapping the ball from the 20.
McGrath,
he's
taking the ball himself. He's 15, 10, 5. McGrath still on his feet.
He's down to the 1, it looks like. He looks like he's down to the 1.
Heads
he is
up
a
play by
strong
McGrath.
runner.
Right, he's 6'2", 190. Can move out there, but boy, he put some moves on this.
Nice
fake to the
Look
left.
at the pull. The offensive lineman gets clean. He's now the lead blocker. Lineman is all the way downfield. Good thing Becker did not throw the block there for him. He would have had the clip. And he is out at the 1.
It is 1st and goal now for the Crusaders as they're going to try to knock on the door and strike again. He's got that teacup formation. Let's see if McGrath takes it himself. No, he's going to get
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
He lost 3.
Hey, Hamilton was treading water right there.
You know what you'd almost like to do here is bootleg the quarterback here because he's such a strong runner. If you can get him on the outside to give him the option to run or throw.
Tony Arsman makes the tackle right there.
As strong a runner he is, he can break the arm tackle. If he's able to show, the dive play, nice ball faking that he does, if he's able to get outside, you could give him that run throw option. I think it would work for Moeller down here.
He does have a blocking back in Shepard right now. Let's see if they go to Hamilton.
Power formation.
They do. Hamilton, he's going off the right side. He's in. Reed Hamilton, 2nd TD of the night. And Moeller now draws within 7.
Well, initially that play looked like it was supposed to go into the middle of the line, probably between guard and tackle. But he broke it outside with good vision here. Watch this.
Reed Hamilton, 1-yard run. That's his 10th touchdown of the season. His 2nd one tonight. Comes with 2:06 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And it looks to me that Moeller may have the advantage here in the kicking game because they've made both their extra points, and the young man seems like he has a very strong leg for Moeller.
Kicks it up, and it is good. And Mark, your impressions on that with the missed extra point and everything. It could come down to the extra points here.
Well, the thing that impressed me on that drive, I don't know if you guys caught this or not, I'm sure you did, was Moeller was going with a quick, no huddle, up to the line offense that whole series. And I think it kept Elder completely off of any kind of timing or pace. They couldn't substitute. They were having trouble adjusting. They looked confused.
Well, once again, we come back to this. This is the 3rd time we've said this now. I think the 3rd series in a row. Now let's see what the Moeller defense can do. Can they stop Elder?
The offensive answered the bell. They've answered the challenge. They've put 21 points on the board. A lot of times 21 points is enough to win a ball game. Your defense has got to do something. Okay, fine. They've scored 27 points. It's in the past. Can you get a turnover for us? Make a stop, but if you can get a turnover, even better. And it starts with this kickoff.
So Jason Kaiser is going to tee the ball up. And you're going to have Poland and Gidley back for the Panthers.
The key to this kickoff here, Bill, is to make sure that they don't reach the 30-yard line if you're a Moeller Crusader.
Well, and also I think you kick it away from Billy Poland, too, if anything else right now. Although,
if I'm Moeller, I'm tired of seeing him with the ball.
Gidley averages 16-4. Well, they're going to squib it, and it does go away from him. One of the big upbacks get it.
They're at the 34.
Oh, he was tripped up. That was number 44.
It looked like number 17.
Or 17. Number 17, Cameron Good was one that tripped up Tony Arsman. We saw Arsman in on one of the tackles.
You know, Cameron's been in on a lot of stops this evening. Keep an eye on him right now. because he was cheating up to the line of scrimmage last time. He's up there again.
Rob Florian's been in this position before.
And I apologize to young man. I think I called him Goody a couple times.
Florian's been in this position before. Last week he had a big touchdown pass to beat St. X. He's back to pass now.
Nope.
Now in and out of the hands, number 84. That's Kurt Gidling, who came in tonight his favorite receiver, a little bit ahead of Poland, but I think Poland's got more receptions tonight.
Well, it was another one of the crossing routes where he was coming across underneath with Poland. Poland cleared out the area. See how Poland's deeper? They brought him underneath the coverage, and he was there. The ball was a little high. I will give this to the Elder receivers. They really lay out for the football.
Now, Florian stays in his shotgun, and if it holds true, Lather might get the ball here. Oh, it's a low snap. He's back to pass. He's going to pass all the way. He overthrows his receiver, and I think the low snap is the one that threw that play off. His intended receiver was number 2, Craig Davis.
Well, that's a good play. He had him, but the problem was is he's used to throwing to Poland, who's 6'3".
Right.
And Davis looks like he's about 5'9" or 5'10". There's a big height difference there.
He's 5'8".
5'8". Okay, there's a big difference. When he throws that ball out for Poland, he's able to go up and get it, where Davis can't because of the height.
Well, once again, the Crusader faithful are on their feet on the sidelines here. It is a big 3rd and 10 situation.
Well, it's quiet on the Elder side because they know this is a big play.
And if they can hold him, that's going to give them good field position.
Moeller's coming.
Low snap.
And they did not get to him.
Oh, they've got Gidling down there.
And he may be gone.
Ball. He's got one man to beat, and he...
At the 1.
At the 1-yard line. That was Craig Becker,
you know,
the defensive back that brought him down.
Elder beat the blitz. They shot at least three backers, and it looked like all the backers and the safety came, and they were able to pick them up. And we were talking about that offensive line before.
Right.
Look at that ball.
And Gidling, he had a little bit of trouble handling this, but boy, he was off to the races.
Well, he almost got stripped. That's all the defensive back can do there at the last minute, because he's not going to be able to make the tackle. He's falling down, so he's trying to strip the ball.
Well, he does all the work with 79 yards on that play. 69 yards in that play. And Gaither's going to get the credit in the newspaper as he gets a 1-yard run, his 2nd TD of the night, as Elder scores again. With 1:28 to go here in the 3rd quarter, we have had a horse race here. Everybody touched the ball.
Exactly.
Going to score.
Straight power play here.
There's
a big opening there, and he just shot the gap, and he's through.
His 2nd 1-yard touchdown.
He wasn't touched, so he was in the end zone, Bill.
No. And for him, that's his 12th of the year. But now, here's the critical point. This is when, if Elder's had any problems tonight, it's been on the PATs. Let's see if they're going to try to go for 2. I think they will go for 2.
I think they're going for 2 again.
Yeah. Well,
I think Elder only kicks field goals, and now they're going to go for 2 constantly.
just put Riga back there in the 30. That's what they have to do. He's in the shotgun formation. He's got trips to the right. Florian's going to try to take himself. He's nailed. He's not going to get there. Nice play. That was number 17. Cameron Good again.
Elder's gone to that 2 or 3 times inside the 10-yard line with that quarterback draw there. But Moeller's done a good job of defending that inside the 5 and 10-yard line. Once it gets down that red zone, they've done a real nice job.
Well, Mark, have you ever seen one side of the field sit down real quick and the other side get up so fast as on that last play?
Well, I tell you, it was. I think Moeller made some good adjustments in that drive. I was about to say before that series began, the defensive staff from Moeller was working hard with the defense crew over here on Moeller's last possession. There's as much activity off the field as on in a situation like that. They looked like they had really answered the problem. But when they came out of for that play, Poland was one-on-one coverage again. And I have to say, I don't want to second guess the coaching staff, but you know, they've been burned on the blitz with the one-on-one coverage, and I just don't think he's going to be stopped in the one-on-one coverage.
So we go back again. We are at a track meet here tonight. 33-21 now in favor.
But you know what you have to do here, Bill and Mark? You have to tip your hat to the offensive line at Elder, because they are handling that blitz. They are giving their quarterback time to look deep downfield to make those throws.
Shepard with the ball.
Oh, what a collision.
Shepard still gets about 2 or 3 yards, but he is gang tackled by.
There is a man on Elder. It was in the wedge buster position. It came down there. I hope we have that. He just destroyed the middle of that wedge.
Out to the 24.
Here we go. Boom, right there. As Dwayne would say, that was a slobber knocker.
So they'll start to work on, they're going to spot the ball at about the 24-yard line. So Ben McGrath back at the office here. Under center. He's going to be back to pass, but he is just absolutely smothered down there.
They brought that safety in again on the blitz, and he rolled right into it.
And we're trying to get his number. Which one? That was Brent Curran. 29. Yeah, it was Brent Curran Jr. And I tell you what, he was lucky to get the pass off. So it's second. And you're up by this score right now. You might as well. You know, if they can pin Moeller down here, they're going to have the short field. That's the give is to number 8. That's Thatcher.
And there's a flag.
And this is going to be after the play is over with. So usually that results in unsportsmanlike conduct. Let's see what happens. Been a late hit. Let's see if we can pick up what happened here. I think it's right there. Yep, there it is. One hit too many. So this is going to put Moeller way back.
Dead ball foul, personal foul on blue.
So you hear a referee, Mark Landers, say it is on Moeller. And that's the type of stuff you don't need. You don't need that right now.
The only thing is there, Bill, is you want your receivers to stay on the block. And all he was doing was blocking. And he's going to probably tell you that he went to the end of the whistle. But when you think personal foul, that's not what you're looking at as personal foul right there.
Right.
It's awful hard to tell a young man in the heat of the battle right there to quit blocking. He's just stayed on his block and stayed after it. But if the whistle blew, that's a rule. But you don't want to tone down his enthusiasm.
So it puts the Crusaders back on the 12-yard line, and it sets up
a major foul.
Yeah, it sets up a third and a whole lot of real estate. Get a first down. And
hook and ladder.
Oh no, hook and ladder play.
But you know what? Elder played that well. Elder played that well.
Yeah.
Moeller did a good job with it.
Thatcher,
it looked like he was going to make it, but
Thatcher
the safety was able to get over.
Yeah, he shorted a first down. Let's see who the pass was initially.
Nice ball he throws here. We know Thatcher can run to get him in the open field out there.
Neil Wonder was one that caught the ball, and they actually did that perfect. But
look how many people Elder was able to get to the football. 7, 8. Those are interior linemen too.
But he's still about 3 or 4 yards short, and that's going to force the Crusaders to punt.
Well, if you ever had a booming punt, this is when you need one.
Kaiser is going to be the punt. King's back at the 38-yard line. Long count, trying to get Moeller the jump, or Elder jump. It is blocked.
And it was an interior man that blocked it.
Yeah, picked up by number 33. That's Chris Chambers.
Well, it looked like he took a little bit too much time to kick the ball. We might be able to see it here if we got that on replay.
Well, I know he was taking a long count there. He was trying to get Elder the jump because that would have given him the first down, but
it looked like a defensive tackle that was able to block it here. Let's see. It looked like number 97.
Oh,
93.
Yeah, 93. He took a bit long there as Brandon Whitworth is the one who blocked it. He took a bit too much time with that ball.
Normally you'll see the smaller guys come off the edge with speed to get the, he came straight up the gut.
Elder now.
Low snap.
32. Florian, no, Florian's going to keep it
Take
himself.
Off again. There's no linebacker there, Bill.
Nope. He's got plenty of room.
Again.
Another 9 yards for Florian.
It looked like the linebackers got back in their drop zones, and they were back so deep. Once the quarterback sees A, just takes off. Here we go. Let's see.
That was a very low snap.
Look at the line blocking. There's your linebacker coming up right there. He missed the tackle.
I think the official knew he was doing. He got out of the way. Just like, excuse me, he just go right by.
You know, you have to tip your hat to that offensive line.
Well, we come to the end of the third quarter, and let's run down our ICRC crew tonight. We've got a great crew as usual out here tonight. Our director, of course, Mike Lyons is there. Eric Johan and Larry Arnett are on cameras, and the season premiere of Patrick Scott here tonight. Coming up from good old Morehead State University. We like to have those Eagles up here. And of course, our producer and on graphics, Tim Newman, the guy who drives the truck and feeds us at halftime and everything else, does such a great job for the crew out here. Of course, Mark Scott down on the field. And we welcome Mark to our broadcast tonight. Let's run back to playback times. Okay, Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Channel 24. Monday, 8:30 p.m. Channel 4. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Channel 24. And Friday, 3 p.m. Channel 4. Also look for that Reading Deer Park game this week in ICRC Sports. And of course, as we said, next week we will be over at Reading High School for Reading Marymount CHL action. A couple weeks from now, we'll be out at Kings with Loveland. That's going to be a huge game out there, and then we'll finish the regular season out at Harrison. But we got one more quarter to go here. Glathar is tripped up, gets down to about the 20-yard line. Of course, Harrison will be meeting Sycamore for the last game. You know, we talked in our Harmons, that could be a critical game for Harrison. And a couple of years ago, Sycamore kept them out of the playoffs. So
well, I guess they owe him one then, don't they?
Yeah, I think so, and it's going to be out at Harrison.
Well, Sycamore's got another strong team this year, so it's not going to be easy for them.
Of course, they play in a very tough league out there, that GMC, but they're holding their own in the league this year. They're doing quite well. Looks like they're coming in. This is our first measurement of the night. I don't know. I think he's a bit short. Mark's down there near that. Mark, are we short or not?
Well, I don't know.
Mark, you at the concession stand or what here? Okay. I think we're a bit short.
Yeah, we're a bit short.
I tell you what, our director, Mike Lyons, I think he must have ran out in the field. I don't know. They're getting a centimeter measurement out on that one.
Micrometer. And you see, can you tell why I couldn't tell?
Why couldn't you tell?
Put 7
Contacts
seconds
are getting
that's right.
on the clock. Put 7 seconds additionally on the clock.
They want 7 seconds back up on that clock. They haven't got to, well, wait a minute. They didn't put 7 seconds up, they just put 25 seconds up. They're gonna have to wait and get that clock reset here. Should be 11:42, there we go. 11:42 to go in the game. Crusaders are down by 2 scores, but Elder is knocking on the door again. And there's Glathar, and he dies. He made it, but not by much.
Well, see, this time Moeller was able to make better penetration into the backfield. You can see they moved, at least 3 of their players were in the backfield. So when he leaped that time, he probably took off from like the 34-yard line to 33-yard line. The other time it was almost at the line of scrimmage, and he was able to get ahead for 2 yards. This time he was just able to make it.
Yeah, it wasn't by much, Gary. I tell you where that ball is spotted there.
I think I'm surprised they didn't measure that one.
Yeah, I think
that's awfully close to tell.
But nevertheless, they got a fresh set of downs here on the 22-yard line.
Mark, it's also hard to determine where he came down when he went up in the air like that.
Yeah, it was a tough spot.
Florian under center. He's back, fakes the Glathar. He's going to take it himself. He's got some running room. They almost got him in the backfield, but he spurted loose for about another 4 or 5 yards. And how many times has he done that tonight?
He's constantly able to get away from the pressure. I think it was Patrick Farrell almost had him here. Watch this play. Right there, but he cannot reach him.
And Florian.
And he's ahead for positive yards again.
Puts that shoulder down, and
I'm telling you, for a quarterback, he is fearless about taking the ball up between the tackles on the scramble.
Pitches to Glathar.
They
He's
look like they played it
He's
well.
got a seam. He's got a first down or close to it, it looks like. Down about 11. It depends on where he gets the spot at.
He ran through a couple tackles there, and if we have that, you're probably going to be able to see it on a replay here. It looked like a couple arm tackles he was able to break here. Let's see. Here he goes. Now he's cutting back up. Let's see. Right here. Yep, arm tackles.
Well, he gets kind of a Moeller.
Good came up and gave him a nice stick there at the end, but the problem is I think Moeller's defense is wearing down, and when you start arm tackling, that's a sign of fatigue.
He's about a yard short. Ball
Elder's
spotted
side
about 11.
They didn't like the spot. There, see, he broke another tackle.
But nevertheless, he does get the first down and went inside the 10. So it's going to set up 1st and goal now.
See, that's a situation where most good running backs like that, they get stronger as the game goes along, especially with his size. It becomes harder and harder to tackle. Right there.
Yeah, and you know what?
Good had a shot at him there.
You're calling on a DB there, trying to bring him down.
Exactly. You're talking about a running back who weighs 220 pounds, and he's getting stronger as the game goes along.
I tell you what, I don't know if they didn't get a bad spot again on that. The ball is just inside the 10.
Exactly.
I thought it was closer to the 9 where it is. And they're not quite sure. They're going to say it's...
Well, if it's right at the 10, they don't need the sticks anymore.
No.
And that's what happened. They motioned the chain gang off to the side because they don't need them any longer.
Right. If you look where the football is, it's spotted inside the 10-yard line. So...
Well, here they got single coverage down here again with Poland. It's pitch and catch time if they want it.
And there's
they stepped
Gaithard
up, and they did a good job on Gaithard there.
He gets about a yard on that one. More importantly right now, Elder is eating up this clock right now. Moeller needs 2 scores to get back into this, and they need to stop him here. And right now, if Riga gets a field goal, that's going to put him up by 15. So Elder is in pretty good position down here. The 3 receivers. Florian back to pass.
One-on-one coverage here. Here goes quarterback. He's sprinting.
He's got a man open
time.
Back
I
of
think
the
it's
end
a touchdown. Yes.
It is in the back of the end zone. You see who picks up that ball. We can't see. There's so many people around him right now.
I think it was 84.
That was Gidley. Okay,
well, you were asking for him earlier because you said he was the leading receiver. But watch this. He buys time. Now he sprints out to his left. He's got to square his shoulders back to throw the ball. And he's throwing it back across the middle, and he's able to find the receiver.
Gidling a 10-yard TD. And here comes the exciting part of the evening here for Elder.
Sooner or later, Bill.
Riga, does he get it? I think so.
I think he crushed that one.
Riga does get it.
He made no doubt about that.
I think the Elder people are going to go crazy over this one. He gets the PAT. So Gidley, a 10-yard pass from Florian. And Mark, 19 points down, 8:45 to go. I don't know about this one tonight.
Well, it's going to be tough to overcome, I think. You know, with this much time left, this much of a deficit. And I think, again, not to second guess the Moeller coaching staff, and they may have seen something we didn't see on the blitz, on the, what was it, a 69-yard pass play to Poland?
69-yard pass.
You know, they may have seen something they thought they could get by with it. Elder just picked it up. But that one-on-one coverage to Poland, I think you gotta wonder.
Yeah, I think if you at the end of this game, Moeller does end up not winning this game, I think you got to look back at that play as one of the crucial plays of the game. They had him 3rd and 10. You know, they would have the short field, get him back, and they get.
Bill, but we're looking at the fact from Moeller's side of it. Let's look at it this way. They want the turnover. You're bringing a house here. You should be able to get to the quarterback, and that's why I've been saying tonight, you have to give a lot of the credit to the offensive line. They have picked up everything that they've thrown at him. That quarterback has been able to stand back there all night and never have a problem. Florian ought to take those guys out for a pizza tonight. I'm telling you, they're just a fine offensive line. This is a nice return here.
Nice return here. That looks like that was Daniel Shepard. Or Pat Watt, I'm sorry, Pat Watt. I think I called him Pat Wyatt earlier, but Pat Watt.
Well, we both made a mistake on names.
But he does get a nice return out to about the 36-yard line.
Here's the only problem with this here is Moeller is not built for a come-from-behind type of team. You can see they're a nice power running team. They can get outside with the option some. And when they've been throwing the ball tonight, they've been throwing it fairly well. It's been keeping them in the contest. But to say they're just going to drop back, maybe get into a shotgun or play a spread offense, that's not their game. Now they're taking out their element.
Graff is back to pass.
It's a nice looking ball.
Let's
drop the ball.
He dropped the ball. He threw it into double coverage. And
if I'm not mistaken, it's Blake Carter, the tall receiver we were talking about earlier. Here we go. Here, sets up nice.
Nicely thrown ball.
He went down to get it, but it looked like the safety arrived the same time the ball did.
And we'll see what happens right here as Blake Carter's down on the field.
Well, that's what happens to a lot of receivers. They don't like going across the middle just for that reason. You'll take that hit. You know you're going to get hit.
Moeller's next game is against Columbus, St. Francis de Sales. That's going to be next week. Elder.
Where is that game?
That's going to be no, I think that's going to be home. I believe that's going to be down here. Oh, it's okay. It's not. And the Elder is going to okay, it's going to be over at St. Xavier. It's going to be over at St. X that game. So thank Dave Schutte here next to us, who is giving us the heads up on that one. And Elder's going to be at home against LaSalle. And we see Mr. Carter coming off the field. He's walking pretty much on his own right there. So Elder's got one more game. They got LaSalle. Boy, poor LaSalle.
Well,
LaSalle's got a fine football team, but boy,
they play a murder schedule.
Oh, they do, absolutely.
Oh, look at this play. Look at the penetration.
Oh.
He's able to break the tackle. He
nice
shot a gap there, number 38
Number
of Elder.
38. That was Dan McDonald. He's a 5'10", 210-pound senior.
He can't be happy about that.
Hamilton still gets about 4 yards out of it.
Bill, Gary?
Yes.
During that last that injury timeout there, Coach Crable was giving the defensive squad quite a talking to. And without going into a lot of details, he talked a lot about pride. He talked a lot about fundamentals and doing the fundamental things that they do day in and day out to win a football game.
Well, that's so true. Everything you do in practice. Oh, no. He threw it late.
Threw it late. Now I'm not sure who has it.
It's an offensive catch. If both players have come down with the ball, it's a reception for the offense.
Well, the intended receiver is John Profit.
See, that is such a long throw. The defensive back made a great break on the ball. Both of them got the ball.
That's Cody.
It's got to be a catch.
Cody King.
It's got to be a catch.
Cody King dragged him back almost to the line of scrimmage now.
Well, you got to hand it to the receiver.
Simultaneous possession
exactly.
With the white and blue. It is blue ball.
Exactly.
This way.
Good call.
You got to give it to the receiver there because most of the time the defensive back, with the momentum he had, he should have been able to rip that ball away and be gone.
Well, his momentum, unfortunately, was carrying him the other way.
See, now that's a poor spot.
Yeah.
Because the catch occurred. Yes, the catch occurred at the 40-yard line, and the spin and the tug for the ball took it all the way back to the 35. You see, that's just a poor spot.
Moeller, 4th down. Big play for them. They were 2 for 2 so far in 4th down conversions. McGrath, long.
Nice play by the defensive back.
That was Drew Metz. Broke that up.
He broke on the ball, came underneath to tip it away. The only problem is you would like to see him knock the ball down because the receiver was behind him, and if he tips it up in the air, he gives up a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, he just about tipped it.
Exactly.
He tipped it a bit too far away.
Knock it down if you can't catch it.
For the intended receiver, so therefore, the Elder Panthers take over on Moeller's 35-yard line.
Bill, is this one of the first times that Moeller did not make it on 4th down?
I think so. Yeah, they were
2 or 3 times.
2 for 3 now tonight, and that was a big one.
I mean, that's pulling out the stops. We were questioning whether they were conservative or not, but they pulled out the stops all night long.
Well, Bob Crable was over here talking to Mark Landers, and I don't know, Mark, if you're down there, if you know what Coach Crable was concerned about.
I got to believe he's questioning that dual possession catch. That cost them 5 yards there.
Yeah, I would imagine he's talking pretty good to, well, he seemed to be satisfied with the explanation. So Elder takes over. Rob Florian.
Well, you got to think Elder's going to start running the ball here to kill some clock here. They've got a big enough lead. They don't need more points.
Nope, Glather, I mean, you know what? When he runs the ball, he picks up 6-8 yards. So at a shot right now. He came in with
got an injury here coming off the field.
5.7 average coming into this game, and I don't think he's done anything to hurt that tonight.
Cameron Good came off holding it looks like his shoulder, and he's been one of the better defenders on the field all night long for Moeller.
2nd and about 4.
Hopefully it's just a stinger.
So with 5:54 to go, Elder is in firm control of this game tonight. Glather. He will be close to a first down, depending on where they're going to spot it.
Short, do you think? About a yard?
Right about the place where they measured last time.
You know what I've noticed? He does not like to go down. He will stay up and take that extra hit. He's taking some punishment. See,
That's
right there. He just takes an extra hit after extra hit. He takes punishment, but he gives it out too.
I tell you what, though, it looked like Blake Carter trying to pull him back. Says, no, sir, you're not going to get a first down on my watch. And he is about a yard short. I tell you what, the yard marker is further back, I think, than the ball is right now. Not sure if it's in the same spot or we're just looking at it.
Don't you think it was closer than that?
I thought it was too. I think he got a bad spot on that. 3rd and short.
Power formation. We're going out of the eye. Handoff straight ahead.
And
nice
he's
stick,
got it that
there
time.
Again, he is such a hard runner.
And maybe a little extracurricular going on down here. A little commotion on each one of the sidelines. He was initially hit once.
That was a good stick, but he just bent him over. He just keeps the legs moving, pumps, drives through the tackle. I'm telling you, he almost says, I am going to punish you. If you're going to make the tackle, you will pay.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to be looking for a star of a game right here. I think he's going to be on our short list right there.
Well, I think he's got to go a little bit of ways to beat Mr. Paul and what he
well, you've got, I say he's on the short list, and Florian's on that list too.
Would you say it's a three-headed monster?
It could be. And it has been a three-headed monster with 40 points out here tonight.
But if you want to be fair, you need the offensive linemen to have protected these guys and give them gaping holes to be able to do it. You could put that whole offense out there.
That's true. That's true. So it's 2nd and about 5 now. As Elder is
I see Cameron Goods back onto the field again.
Elder's just running the time off here now. The ball's in the 19-yard line.
They're bringing everybody up close, Moeller is. Knowing that Elder's probably going to keep it on the ground, but once he gets outside, there he goes.
Gabe. They brought too many people in too close, it looks like. And Florian dies for it, and they say it's a touchdown.
I think you have a face mask. He tried to tackle him up high, and that's a mismatch.
Well, let's see what happens here. The flag was thrown.
The flag is on Moeller, if I'm not mistaken. It looked like a face mask. He tried to tackle him, rodeo rider. Here we go.
The official with a flag down on the field.
And look at that. But you know what? He lost that ball. I'm not sure if he was over the line, but that's a bad angle we have there to see. But he did drop the ball. But he went up in the air again, outstretched to put the ball over the goal line. I'm not quite sure he still had the ball when he crossed.
And I don't know if they're talking about that right now. The one official did.
We had a face mask on blue. That penalty be declined. Touchdown.
Okay, they said he did get in that pylon just barely. So Glaythorpe will give him 19 yards on that one. That's his 3rd TD of the night. And his
Here we go again. Take a look at this now.
of the year.
See if you can tell, Bill.
I
don't know if he had the ball.
No, I don't think he did either. Look,
Take a look right here. I don't think he had the ball. But there again, it's the angle. Could be deceiving.
Right. Riga's extra point is good, and Elder goes up 47-21. Now, Mark, I know you're new out here tonight, but you know, when it gets a score like this, Dave Terry and I usually talk about NASCAR.
Really? Okay. Well,
Mark, you can do us a favor and not talk about NASCAR.
You see, we don't have NASCAR fans. It's just Dave and I.
Yeah, you'll lose me real quick.
Good man. Let's talk about anything but NASCAR.
Yeah, let's talk about something exciting. How about chess?
Yeah. Oh,
that's right up there with NASCAR.
You guys hurt. You guys hurt bad up here. So, well, you know what? We might as well point this out right now. And Gary, I don't know if you realize, Mark and I go back a long way. We both graduated from Laughlin High School here, and we're both very familiar with this stadium from track and from the band. Yes,
well,
we've been out here. We know this stadium like the palm of our hand. Yeah, this is. And Mark, they've done some good things with this track. They've done some good things to this whole stadium area, and so it looks pretty nice.
Oh, it's a beautiful stadium.
Well, I remember the days of falling down on this track and leaving a lot of skin behind when it was cinder.
Oh, yeah.
That was not a lot of fun.
No. And that's picked up by number 17. That's Cameron Good.
He wanted that ball so bad, Bill. He didn't even wait for the wedge. If you watch this, he comes up and catches the ball. If we've got it, see if we've got it here on replay. It was amazing. He comes flying up and took the ball. He didn't even wait for the wedge. He just took off. Here he goes. Watch. He didn't even wait.
guys are gonna not do the wedge. I'm just gonna go ahead and
I'm gonna get what I could get.
And he did.
He's got a motor. He doesn't quit.
He's got 35 yards.
Elder should be putting some new personnel into the field. They're still blitzing.
Oh,
catch that ball.
Catch looks like it's made by Neil Wonder. Let's see if he stayed in bounds.
Nice catch.
He still had control. Yep, they said he did. 5 yards.
There does look like there's some new jerseys out there for Elder. There's a few.
Well, I'm wondering right now they'd be in a nickel package here because McGrath is going to have to put it up. There's no doubt about it now.
Well, they're in cover 2. Both safeties are deep.
Well, they still got to get 3 linebackers in, so. And that looks like a
tipped ball was
tipped ball, and it's intercepted. Intercepted down there.
I'm not quite sure.
I think somebody ran the wrong route.
Well, both receivers were in the same area. We can take a look at it here.
You'll see them side by side almost right here.
See, what he wanted was this receiver here. I think it was Becker, number 80, coming underneath. It almost looked like that wide receiver screen coming back underneath.
And it looks like the interception was by Cody King. There's a guy we've called a lot tonight, too. Cody King has done a bang-up job out there.
Others changed quarterbacks. Number 7's into the game now for him.
That'd be Nick Brandhorst. He's a senior. And what does he do? Is the first time he gets in there, he calls timeout.
Well, you got to make sure all your personnel's there.
Yeah, he's a new quarterback coming in there, so
give him credit that if he called the timeout, he was able to make sure everybody was out there, everybody be on the same.
Well, you got a senior out there too, so he's been in this business for a while. He's 6'2", 175-pound senior for the Elder Panthers. So with 2:52 to go, Elder with a 26-point lead over Moeller. So it looks like the Panthers are going to go 6-1 right now, and they're going to be looking for the. Actually, they are 1-0. We said earlier they were 2-0. They're only 1-0. But beating Moeller right now, you have to feel that they think they're really in a driver's seat now in this GCL South, and also in the Harbins too. They're playing for that home field advantage.
That's such an advantage in their stadium, the pit.
Absolutely.
So you want as many home games as you can get.
Absolutely.
That's a nice job.
That's Mike Schocklin. He is in the game now, a running back for.
Here comes some more players in. It's a nice move by Coach Renzi putting more players in, and I think the same thing Coach Crable's putting some into.
So
all these young men work hard all week, and in a game like this, every little bit of experience they can get helps.
So we're going with the 3-headed monster here for the start of the game, with the offensive line to stay in front of them.
You know what? Actually, if you just brought the whole offensive unit over, they perform so well, Bill.
Absolutely.
They've given them a double dose of the running game and the passing game, and the offensive line's what makes it go. So you'd be remiss not to bring them over.
Well, you've got Gidley with a TD tonight, Poland with a TD, Florin with a couple, Glathar with 3 of them tonight. Throw in Riga's 41-yard field goal, and and occasionally a PAT for their part. That's how they got their 47 points tonight.
Well, before we started this game, we talked about the lone weakness we thought of Elder was their pass coverage, because it's not that they have bad pass coverage, because they only give up like 50% completions, but they get burnt for the big play. And as you've seen tonight, Moeller was able to get off some big plays on them. The problem was they could not stop them all night long.
No.
Elder was like a well-oiled machine tonight, could not be stopped. And here, and the most amazing thing about that is like we opened up with the fact that they had played Ignatius and they played St. X, and now they came here and they're on all cylinders in this game.
No, absolutely.
So when are they going to have a down week? That's the question.
Well, you think what they have done the last 4 weeks. They have Indianapolis Raquel 45-7, 45-35.
I am familiar with that Ron Colley outfit.
Yeah.
They're not as good as they normally are this year, okay? But they are a power from Indianapolis area.
So, and Elder 4 weeks ago, 42 points. So now, 4 out of the last 4 weeks, 4 out of the last 5 weeks, they have scored 40-plus
Bill,
points.
you don't have to go any further than this.
Yeah.
You put 45 on St. Ives up there.
Delay of game, white.
Delay a game on Elder. I wouldn't want to delay the game right now. So, you know, let's get that win and get out of here. But of course, they definitely have an offensive unit. Mark, you have something on what happened?
Probably just a bunch of new guys out there. You know, they're just not as familiar with being out there on the field, and maybe they just want a little extra time to feel the glory.
Well, that could be.
Call your own number.
That could be. And you know what? Like I said, you come back to Coach Ramsey. He's done such a great job. That's got to feel good for him. I mean, he's literally coming back home here himself personally and getting a win on this field. I'm sure it's the first time you got a win on this field as a coach. It's got to make him feel pretty good tonight, too. We'll be hopefully talking to Coach Doug Ramsey and some of those players in our post game. And we'll get Mark to sort out the stuff down there in the field. What do you think, Mark, about the three-headed monster here for Elder?
Oh, well, you know, whatever you guys think. I mean, you know, I'm pretty up with that. You guys are the consummate professionals, I tell you.
Oh,
that's a nice ball there.
Oh, yes, it is.
He was able to find a window in the zone there and stuck that ball right in there. That's a nice ball.
I don't think the clock moved, Gary, on that. I've looked up here. I think we've been at 34 for a while, then.
It's a Moeller guy on the clock, Bill.
Yeah, it could be. That could be one way they could win here is keep that clock still. So.
Pad those stats a little bit.
Oh,
stretched out.
That was John Prophet.
That would have been a tough catch.
John Prophet, you got to give him credit, though.
You know what? We have seen that out of the receivers all night long. Everybody sells out for the football.
I think it's kind of typical of a lot of the teams in this league, though. As I said, we will be over at Reading this coming Friday night. We'll be out at Kings 2 weeks from now, and then our final regular season game out at Harrison. The Sycamore Aviators and Harrison Wildcats.
And that should be a fantastic game.
It should be.
He was wide open. I don't know if his arm got hit or he just threw a bad ball there, but that receiver came wide open on that crossing route.
Well, about the second or third week of the season, we kept saying this Kings Loveland game that we're going to be doing on week number 9.
You were right on that.
Could be the game of the year.
Here we go. Let's see. I think the ball just slipped out of his hand. See how wide open he is on that crossing route?
So, and there's no doubt that that's going to be a huge, huge game for. It's going to be for the league title for those two teams. And obviously, like I said, probably more than anything else.